21 minutes.
I'll move to approve.
I
Okay.
second the motion.
A motion is second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries. Executive Director's Report, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Last month was a fairly busy month again. Relative to enforcement, we had one alcohol violation with one defendant that had been charged. We seized contraband product of 159 containers of spirits, 18 containers of wine, and this was what we call an other than wholesaler violation. Essentially what that means is a retailer may purchase alcohol for resale from someone that wasn't a wholesaler, which is a chain it's got to follow. Whether they went to another retailer, made the purchase, whether they went out of state, made the purchase, we don't always know, but they did purchase from a Maryland wholesaler as is required. We had 11 tobacco violations. 6 people were charged in those 11 violations. We seized a little over 20,000 packs or sticks of other tobacco products, 49 packs of contraband cigarettes. And interestingly, 7 of these violations, we were actually given information from one of our local retailers of electronic smoking devices. He was complaining that 7 retailers in the area where he is were selling products to minors, were selling products that are questionable at best as to whether or not they're allowed. So we were pretty quickly able to get out and visit each of these stores. We did find that all 7 of them had questionable electronic smoking device products, and we educated them first, which is what we always do in these cases. And then we go back for reinspection later to see if that education took. But we also worked with Anne Arundel County Police. All 7 were in Anne Arundel County. And in conjunction with the police department, we send in an underage consumer to try and make purchases. In 6 of those 7 locations, they were able to make purchases. And those people have been charged with selling to consumers under the age of 21. And in 2 of those instances, they had other contraband products as well, which we charged for and seized in addition to that. On our reports that are due, we're all up to date. Finally, you guys received electronic copies of that. The annual alcohol and tobacco tax report is in, which also contains the brewery report. That puts us up to date and current with all the reports so far due into the General Assembly. And as additional reports start to become available, I'll put those on the agenda each month so you know about it when we're done. And if you'll just allow me to indulge for just a moment, I'd like to just talk about a couple of personnel issues. One of them, I wanted to introduce somebody that we were very fortunate to lure from the comptroller's office. Her name is Lisa Henneman, and she serves as our assistant director, who's in charge of just about every important thing we do, and even maybe more importantly to you, a lot of the important things you're going to do. She's responsible for training, licensing, permitting, the studies and reports. It's a huge job. She's a great talent, and we're very fortunate to have her. She started yesterday, and she was obviously, and not obviously, but very clearly very nervous because the job is such a big and important job, but we have every confidence in her, and she's up to the task. So I'm really glad to have Lisa on board, and she's just going to make us a stronger commission as we go forward. And the second is, I guess I have to report to you an act of disloyalty. There is a young lady who has been very dedicated and a reliable colleague. She's been a great ambassador for everything we've been called over many, many years. I've been in this entity I'm coming in on the 20 years now, and she's been involved with it. Well, she's actually worked for the comptroller or ATC for over 20 years. And she's a confidant, she's a sounding board to so many people. She's a friend to everybody. She's an even keel. When you walk in, you meet her first. When you call, she's often the first one who takes your call. And as I mentioned, in a very disloyal way, she's also been taking our minutes, by the way, for the last year. In a very disloyal manner, she informed us that she's retiring at the end of the month. With some testing, there's not a disloyal bone in her body, but boy, are we going to miss her a lot. It's Miss Carl Cogan. She's just been terrific. And Carl, we're going to miss you. You don't know how much. And if you can change your mind, there's still a couple of weeks left in the month. And we appreciate that, but if not, we understand and wish you a happy return. So, Mr. Chair, that's the report. Thank you very much.
Okay. Does anybody have any new business they want to discuss today? We don't have a very big agenda. So at this time, if there's no new business, I take a motion for adjournment.
I'll move to adjourn.
Okay,
I second the motion.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, motion carries. Thank you all very much. Our next meeting date is January 20th at 3 p.m.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Have a great holiday, guys.
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas, happy Hanukkah. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.